started with a single lawn chair, then two, then a busted trampoline, an old grill, and, believe it or not, a boat trailer. Every morning when I looked out my kitchen window, my once beautiful backyard looked more like a junkyard hosted by a pack of raccoons. I stormed out one morning to confront the latest culprit. My neighbor Carl, casually dropping off a refrigerator that looked like it had survived a tornado. "Carl," I shouted. "What in the world are you doing?" He grinned sheepishly. "Karen said we could use your yard for temporary storage. HOA approved." I blinked. "Karen said what?" "Yeah," he continued. "She said you had plenty of space, and you were, quote, doing the community a favor." I stared at him, speechless, as he plugged in the fridge into my outdoor outlet. That was the moment I realized I wasn't living next to an HOA. I was living next to a dictatorship run by Karen the Clueless Queen. Within a week, my yard looked like a scrapyard featured on the History Channel. Lawnmowers, old tires, rusted tools, someone's couch. It was chaos. So I went to confront her. Karen was, of course, in her natural habitat, standing on her porch, arms crossed, giving orders to some poor landscaper who looked like he regretted every life choice that led him here. "Karen," I called out, "you told people they could use my yard for storage?" She turned with a plastic smile. "Oh, hello. Yes, I did. You've got so much unused space. We figured it was a win-win for everyone. Except me," I said flatly. "This is trespassing, Karen. You can't just decide my property is community storage." "Oh, don't be ridiculous," she scoffed. "It's temporary, and the HOA voted to approve it." "Funny thing," I said, crossing my arms. "I'm not in your HOA." Her smile faltered. "What?" I opted out. "You don't have jurisdiction over my land, Karen. Not an inch of it." She huffed. "Well, we'll see about that. The board. Save it." I cut her off. "You've got 1 week to get everything off my property. After that, I'll handle it myself." She smirked. "You wouldn't dare." "Oh, but I would." A week passed. The junk pile got even bigger. I found an old treadmill leaning against my barn and a motorcycle under a tarp. I warned them multiple times. I even posted a big sign. "Notice: all abandoned items will be considered forfeited after 7 days." When the deadline hit, I called my buddy Rick, who runs a local auction house. "Hey Rick," I said, "how do you feel about a spontaneous estate sale?" He laughed. "Whose estate?" "Mine," I said. "Technically." 2 days later, we held the biggest backyard auction the county had ever seen. Rick brought tables, tags, and an auctioneer's mic. I invited the sheriff just in case Karen tried something stupid, which, of course, she did. When she showed up and saw people bidding on her neighbor's junk, she lost it. "What is going on?" she screamed. "It's an auction," I called out cheerfully. "Everything left here past the deadline is now legally mine, and I'm selling it." "You can't do that," she shrieked. The sheriff stepped forward, holding the paperwork I'd filed with photos, dates, and notices. "Actually, ma'am, he can. He gave everyone fair warning." Karen's jaw dropped. "This is theft." "Correction," I said, holding up a clipboard. "This is storage liquidation. Maybe next time don't dump junk on private land." The crowd laughed. Karen's face turned beet red as people bid on a broken lawnmower and a 12-foot inflatable Santa Claus. By the end of the day, I'd made nearly $2,700. Rick cut me a check and we hauled off the rest to recycling. But I wasn't done yet. I took a portion of the money and built a massive fence, 8 feet high, solid cedar, with a shiny brass sign right in the middle that read, "Private property, no storage allowed." I even added a motion-activated sprinkler system. Now, if anyone so much as tries to leave a single box behind, they get blasted with a jet of cold water. The next HOA meeting was deliciously awkward. Karen had to stand there and admit to everyone that she'd overstepped, and that the HOA was fined for encouraging unauthorized use of private land. Now my yard is clean, my fence is beautiful, and every time Karen drives by, I wave and point to the sprinkler sensor just for fun. She glares. I grin, because in the end, She turned my yard into a junkyard, so I turned it into a profit.